Alright, so as you guys can tell, I already did my eyebrows. The reason why I did it off camera is because I am actually going to post a video tutorial on Sunday, and it's gonna be an in-depth tutorial of how I do my brows, how I shape them, how I fill them in, and those goody stuff. So after the brows, I am actually going to conceal my eyelids. So I'm just using the NYX full coverage concealer, and I'm just gonna apply that all over my eyelids. So just put it all over the eyelids, and then of course blend it out. I love doing this because it acts as a primer for our eyeshadows, and it also covers the imperfections or discolorations that we have on our eyelids, which will make the eyeshadows pop. I'm going to be using this NYX Ultimate palette. Unfortunately, they don't have names on them, so I'm just going to be showing you guys what shade I'll be using. We're going to give our concealer some time to set before we apply our first foundation. Make sure you give it some time to set, because if you don't, the eyeshadow that you're going to apply, the first eyeshadow that you're going to apply, it's going to get clumpy because it's still wet. So make sure you give it a few seconds for the concealer to dry a little bit. So the first eyeshadow I'm going to be using is this one. It looks like a mustardy color. I don't know, it reminds me of mustard. So I'm just gonna take this fluffy brush and I'm gonna dip it onto this eyeshadow right here. So that's gonna be our first color. So just apply that all over, focusing on the upper part of the crease, because this is going to be our transition color. So once that's done, I'm gonna use the same brush and I'm gonna dip it onto this eyeshadow right here. It's an orange warm eyeshadow. It's definitely a fall color. So I'm just gonna dip my brush on that. And then, so for this eyeshadow, you're gonna try to focus it on the crease, just like so. And then I'm gonna take this brush right here, and then I'm gonna take this color and I'm gonna focus that on my eyelid below the crease. Alright, so I'm gonna take this same brush, and without dipping it on the palette, I'm just gonna take this brush and then I'm gonna try to diffuse all the colors so that there's no harsh lines. So I'm just gonna brush back and forth on the crease area. Next, I am actually gonna take some of that first eyeshadow that we use, and I'm gonna still be using the same brush. And I'm just gonna brush it out on the crease area as well, just to soften out those eyeshadows a bit more. So the transition between the second eyeshadow and the third eyeshadow is smooth. So I'm just gonna take my Revlon Color Stay Black eyeliner, and I'm just gonna tightline my eyes real quick. I'm just gonna take my e.l.f. smudge brush, and I'm gonna take this color right here, this color, and with that color I'm just gonna line my eyes with it. Stay as close to the lash line as possible. And I'm actually gonna drag it up like this, creating a soft wing look. And without picking up any more eyeshadows, I'm just gonna use the same brush and I'm just gonna soften it out a little bit. Next, I'm gonna take my Maybelline Master Precise Liquid Eyeliner and I'm just gonna line my eyes with it. So stay as close to the lash line as possible. So the next step I'm going to do is I'm just going to conceal this area of my face. So I'm just going to use my Instant Age Rewind concealer. And I'm just going to use my beauty blender to blend it out. I wanted to do this next because I wanted to clean the edge of the eye makeup, like this area. I wanted to clean that up right away. Alright, up next I'm just gonna curl my lashes. And then I'm gonna use my Benefit Bad Gal mascara. And then I'm gonna go back to this brush right here and I'm just gonna take this eyeshadow again and I'm gonna apply that on the bottom part of my eyes, so right here. So I'm just softly smudging it. I'm also gonna add this eyeshadow only because it's a more pigmented eyeshadow. Alright, up next I'm gonna take this glittery bright yellow eyeshadow and I'm gonna use that on my inner corners. For this, I'm just using a very dense synthetic dome brush to apply on the inner corners of my eyes for a pop of color. And then I'm also gonna use that on my brow bone. So up next, I'm just gonna color correct my face because I have some redness on my face and I also have like some dark spots. So I'm just gonna color correct my face and then I'll be using the Tarte color corrector and this is what it looks like. So around this part of my face I have some like darkness to it, so I'm gonna take this this color. So I'm just gonna apply it with my fingertips. Alright, and with the redness I'm just gonna use this color right here. scary. But that's okay. So I'm gonna take my beauty blender and I'm just gonna blend it. Make sure your beauty blender is damp so that when you blend your foundation or any cream, it'll blend easily and your foundation won't look very thick. Okay, well, that's a little better. So after you color correct, we are now gonna move on to our foundation. So I'm gonna be using my Morphe full coverage foundation. This one is really full coverage. Alright, so up next we're just gonna give some time for the for my skin to absorb the foundation. So while waiting, I'm just gonna apply my NYX Tinted Brow Mascara so that our brow stays in place. Now I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild loose powder and I'm gonna use my Morphe R14 brush and I'm just gonna bake my face a little bit. So I'm gonna apply it here where we applied the concealer. And I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush and I'm just gonna dust off the powder. I'm also going to use this fluffy brush and loosely take some of that loose powder and apply it all over my face to set that foundation. And then after that, we're just going to contour, and I'm going to use this brush. And today I'll be using my Milani bronzer. It looks like this. If I can open it, it looks like this. And we're gonna be using this shade. I'm gonna take this brush. This one is the Morphe M138 brush, and I'm gonna dip that on that same bronzer, and I'm just gonna contour my nose a little bit. Alright, so I'm just gonna apply some blush. This one is the L'Oreal True Match blush in the shade Apricot Kiss, and I'm also gonna use this brush that it came with. And I'm just gonna dip it, apply it on the apples of my cheeks. So for my highlighter, I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powder in the shade Golden Flower Crown. So I'm just gonna take my brush. It's a small tapered brush. Glow, that is intense. Look at that glow. And bam! And bam! And I'm also gonna take that highlighter on my fingertip and I'm gonna apply it on the tip of my nose, the bridge of my nose, and my cupid's bow. Alright, so now that our makeup is done, I'm just gonna apply my lipstick real quick, and today I'm using the Morphe lipstick in the shade Peanut. And we are done, guys. Woohoo!